Bright suns and rising moons, fellow droids. Welcome to Not the Droids podcast. I'm Danny.
And I'm Mayuri, and today we are going to continue the Clone Wars with season two, one. We're still on season one,
Yes.
episodes 14, 15, 16. We already did, so
Yes.
17 and 18. So the titles would be Defenders of Peace, um, Trespass, Blue Shadow Virus, and Mystery of 1,000 Moons.
And moons.
Oh, these came out when?
These came out. Oh, that's interesting. So 14 was January 23rd, 2009, then January 30th, 2009, and then 17 and 18 were released the same day on February 13th, 2009.
Oh, that is weird.
Yeah, that threw me. I was like, huh.
That because I thought it was coming out on TV, right? So it was coming out one
Yeah,
episode at a
I'm
time.
looking this. I'm double verifying this because then they skipped a week in there. So like if
Yeah.
that's the case,
I
they
wonder
skipped a
if
week
there
in
was like
February
other
for the next
programming
one.
stuff happening.
Yeah.
When are the Olympics?
So let's see. Wikipedia. They seem like the legit source.
Wikipedia? Yeah.
Wikipedia. So
At
we
this
are.
point, that's where I get all my information on Star Wars.
So yes, yes. Oh yeah, no, they did both release that day, and I guess they skipped a week. Because then the next episode released on the 27th. So they went without a week. So maybe something was
There
happening
must have
at
been
that
something
time.
going on.
And they still wanted
Yeah.
to fill that spot. So they released both of them together. Because they don't like, they're not like, so we've had episodes that were all like, should be back to back. But these were not
These
it.
were not. They were sequential, but they didn't need to be back to back.
Yeah. So where do you want to start? I got a lot of Ahsoka. I'll start with that.
You did get a lot of Ahsoka. I'm very happy for you. Um,
I'm sad for you because we had the return of Jar Jar in these.
God. And it was still so annoying. Like, I just don't understand why they keep him around. Everything is a catastrophe.
We apologize in advance. We're both on the struggle bus this
Yeah.
episode.
Um, I was gonna say everything is a catastrophe with Jar Jar. It always results in either people dying or information getting lost. It always makes
His tongue
everything
getting
harder.
stuck.
That situation was so dumb. Like I could see it happening and I could have just been like, where is the bug? I was watching it and I was like, where is the bug from? Because that's going to answer the question. Right. So like I do like this series of episodes. So like we skipped right over Defenders of the Peace, but I
Great.
really think
I
that's an
really like
important
that
message.
episode.
I really like that episode. It was a very important message, especially as in context of this war, that
Mhm.
like the separatists are not giving people choices.
Yes.
And also they're lying out of their teeth, right? They said like, "Oh, we're not going to cause you problems. You're under our protection." And then the next breath, they're like, "We're trying to test this weapon out on living beings, so we picked this planet
Yep.
specifically
And so
to
we're being
make sure."
introduced to this new weapon. I also think through Ahsoka, we are getting a lot of the lessons like really like nailed in of like,
The Jedi lessons.
yes.
And ironically, it's like Anakin is the one enforcing them, which is funny to see in my head because
I do
Anakin
love
is
the
usually the
little
one.
lermans. I do enjoy them because in my head they're all lemurs.
That's what I thought they were. They're just lemurs.
They're also called lermans with like it's very close.
It's very intentional at that point.
Yes.
Um, I do like the struggle within that community where it's like we're obviously
It's
a very
tradition versus
respectful,
growth.
but like to see all the young people being like, we have to choose a side in the war. And I did catch the message at the beginning where it was like, at some point, you have to choose.
Yes.
Not choosing is a choice in and of itself. And
Hmm.
so like the fact that her like I don't know if it's her dad or grandfather or whatever
I think he's a
was just
grandfather
I think it's her grandfather.
or a village elder, is what I decided he was.
He's just like so against even the appearance of picking up arms and defending
Yeah.
yourself. Where it was just like, do you really to the point where he said, even if we're destroyed
Yeah.
following our
And that's a
own.
wild choice. Like,
I was
you're not
like,
even going to try to relocate to remain neutral. You're just going to sit and wait and see whatever happens.
yeah, it's like
It's like it's one
that's
thing
such
to choose like not to fight, but the choice to not even like
defend yourself
defend
or
yourself
prepare to defend yourself
or to send members of your community, usually like women and children or the younger, like to
to an
relocate
alternate
to
location.
try to save themselves. Like that you're literally just gonna have your entire village just sit and wait and hope something goes your way. Is
Yeah.
wild. Like I'm not saying, okay, no, you should defend yourself, but like I'm
But
not
I
saying
think it's like,
give up your
it's,
neutrality, but you need to like be doing something. You're literally sitting and waiting.
I think it's such great political commentary
It
that
is.
it's so applicable to any period of time, right? Like,
Yeah.
if you are someone who believes in like that's not my fight, so I'm not going to fight it, I am just going to let it be, that fight catches up to you eventually,
Yes.
always. And that this whole episode was that the culmination of that, right? Because
Yeah,
technically I
and
feel like it could be grouped with the episodes before, right? Like the crash
yeah.
and this one are together. um
Yeah, because
but
this
then there
is
was
like the
like
continuation of the
of
crash.
that, yeah.
But it's also
um
like the Separatists specifically looked for people that they assumed no Jedi would be around because they were so far
yeah, they were
in.
so shocked
They were like
to see
essentially
Jedi.
there in a rural planet. They wanted something that would go unnoticed to test these weapons.
Yeah, which is so wild to me, but I get where they're coming from, right? Like
Yes.
they don't care. So the fact that they are testing a weapon that destroys life but not technology
Yeah.
is so indicative of this war, right? Like,
Yes.
and the person who invented it, all he can think about is getting a promotion because to him, like, he's just trying to get more money and move up.
Yep.
And there's just like such, my roommate was watching it with me and she was just like, the casual, like, genocide in all of these episodes is just mind boggling
It is.
because that's what they're discussing, right? Like they're literally talking about testing out this weapon and killing this entire race of people,
Yeah.
and nobody would know. Nobody would know.
That's why they
It
chose a
just
rural planet.
the happenstance that the episode before Anakin and them crashed on this planet. Um, but yeah, I was trying to figure out if we've seen this weapon in the future anywhere. The one that they're testing, I feel like maybe we'll see it again in Clone Wars, but I wonder if we won't because it was the only one and it was being tested. And Dooku was already like not too thrilled with it.
Yeah. We will
I wonder if that's his Jedi sensibilities.
we're only on season one. We
I
got
know,
some
but
time to see if maybe.
we'll see. Um, but yeah, I liked being on Naboo. Okay, here's the thing. I like Naboo. I like Padme. I like the whole thing. I really hate Jar Jar. I don't love Gungans to start with. I've decided because we also watched Young Jedi and there was a Gungan
We are
episode
not on Naboo yet.
on the next episode. Sorry, I
Is the
pushed
ice planet, yes. Trespass.
trespass. Oh, missed that
We're on
one.
Ordo Plutonia.
Oh yeah, is that the battle? Was that the battle? No.
Uh,
Yes?
this is the disappearance of the local clone trooper force.
My bad. I do remember this one and it was boring AF. I'm sorry. I skipped over it for a reason. I learned nothing. This episode felt like a passage of time
Yeah.
and just like a bureaucratic episode. Because, like, the new race, I'm sure we'll meet them again, I guess. But, like, it has no impact on the overall storyline. It's just something happening somewhere else.
Yeah, it's just
Um,
like interesting to have Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Rex all like in the same episode, but then the episode is just like, I'm
so
good.
boring. Um, Facts. I fell asleep during the battle for about 5 minutes, and I feel
Oh.
like I missed nothing. I saw the guy die, and I was like, cool. He died for his convictions that no one else believed in, and in fact got sanctioned for before he died. It was like, hey, we're not going to avenge you because we think you're going way outside of your reach here. And that's the last thing that man heard before he died, by the way.
And now we can jump.
And then we went to Naboo. So that's where I'm just like, I like that we're grouping a lot of these episodes because every now and then there's an episode like that has nothing to do with the general story, like the overall story.
Yeah,
But I don't know what we learned about the main characters or the war unless it comes back later.
I don't know. We will have
And
to
that's
see.
why they frustrate me because I'm just like, I don't care.
Yeah, and then my other side is like with these ones, when we get Padme, and we've talked about this before, is that there is no, um, we know what the payoff is with Padme. There's no actual like urgency.
There's no stakes. So even
Yeah,
when they're
like
in
I don't feel as
danger,
connected because I know I'm like, no, she's gonna be fine.
yes. Obviously, all the people were never gonna die. I felt that way with the like Jedi Crash episode in Anakin. They're like, oh no, Anakin's so injured.
Yeah,
He's deathly ill.
but there was like enough going on around that that I was like
That made it
invested in the
interesting.
surrounding story.
Yeah.
But with Padme, I'm just like, I know you're gonna be fine. It's not
It's
time
like,
yet.
yeah, girl, throw yourself into danger once
You gotta
again.
have some kids first before you're done. Like,
I will say I liked this episode a lot, even though Jar Jar was in it, and I really hate Jar Jar.
yes.
I enjoyed I enjoyed the hazmat suits that came out of nowhere. Um, and I was just like, oh, now we have bomb squads and things like that. So it's like it was a really good episode in terms of the one thing I cannot get over is how did the separatists build such an expansive lab underground on Naboo in secret?
Yeah, I
Like
don't know.
like no one noticed it. And I guess I feel that way. Um the mad scientist being German really sent me into outer space there. I was just like, whoa,
That's a
what a
choice.
full what a choice and a real life callback
Well,
there.
and it's like interesting because like usually when we see a scientist in Star Wars or they've usually been kidnapped from the other side.
Yes. So let's just like throw the fact that the separatists are indeed the Nazis just right in people's faces.
Yeah, they're not even gonna
They're not
skate
even
over
trying to
it.
hide it anymore. I just thought it was really interesting, right? Like the that all of these episodes are about the separatists taking over planets and stuff, and this indeed was another weapon that they were trying to curate to decimate the population because their army was mostly droids, so it didn't matter. um and also it's like a element of warfare, right? Like you infect a population and then you say, hey, we're the only ones with the cure for this, you guys are all going to die unless
Yep.
like there's so I will say the political layers of the show are a lot more intense than I thought, and they're not like right on top, um because on top, this just seems like mad scientists bringing back the blue blonic plague or the blue shadow virus, right?
Yeah.
So, and then you see them all progressively die from it. Some of the clones died. And one and I think it's Rex that says when Padme is like, I hope like this is worth it. And he's just like, actually, this is expected. Like, this is what we're here for. We're here to die for the
Yeah, so
cause.
this is I was just reading on this in the next episode, and this was released as a 1 hour special. So these
The
aired.
two of them together?
Yeah, this was released as a 1 hour special.
Well,
Huh.
I mean, it
I
makes
think they're
sense.
connected. Yeah, they run into each other, but
Over other ones, it's really interesting that these were
yeah, and
two
it was just
released
interesting
together.
that the name because so many of the episode names give it away that these names did not. Like,
No, but I mean, I wonder if they did that because Padme and Anakin, right? Like it's a story that everybody knows.
yeah, so our
We're more
moral for
invested in
this
them.
one is fear is a disease, hope is its only cure. And then for our next episode, which would have been considered part two, is a single chance is a galaxy of hope.
Yeah.
Huh.
I feel like whenever they bring Padme and Anakin together, the general theme of those episodes tend to be like hope.
Yes.
Um, which I don't know if they did on purpose or if because like you see more of them in this, right? Like my poor roommate, I made her watch these with me, but
And I wonder if
sh-
that's part of the choices to make like these two-parters because initially we're still in season one. This wasn't supposed to be like the Anakin story.
yeah, I wonder if this is where it shifted into that.
Yeah,
But
where they were like, oh, let's give them an Anakin story here.
yeah, well, so
And
like I said, my roommate was watching it with me, and she actually made a comment like, "Oh, watching these makes me understand like Anakin's betrayal so much more, and like how deeply it would have been felt across." Um, and I wonder if this is where they started to decide to make that the main theme of Clone Wars
yeah.
is to kind of explore Ahsoka and Anakin, Padme, Obi-Wan, their relationship, because you get so much of it in those two episodes.
Yeah, and we miss so much of it from the movies. Is
Yeah.
that we're like, how did we get from this point A to point B?
I do hope we run into those angels again. We got like 2 seconds of the angels, and I was like, oh dang, that's a cool race. Um, but yeah, the whole thing with the thousand moons, it's just to create an obstacle, but I wonder if the separatists have done that on other planets. And I wonder if we'll run into that again because it's
Yeah.
such an interesting way to trap people. And it's so weird. It reminded me a little bit of Skeleton Crew, actually.
Oh, I love Skeleton Crew.
I know. I was talking to someone and they
Curious
were like,
because the next ones we watch are a three set.
yes.
So what were you
It's
saying? Sorry about.
no. I was saying that someone hadn't watched Skeleton Crew and I was like, stop it.
Yeah, no,
It's
we
so
need.
good.
I can't believe it's been a year since Skeleton Crew was out.
I know.
So what we were doing last year at this time was we were
The
in the
show was
middle of
so
Skeleton
good.
Crew.
That show was so good. I will say the more that we get into the Clone Wars, the more I am interested in Star Wars as a whole.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Especially
Well,
because
like
you're on a podcast.
I know. Well, that's not what I mean. I mean
No,
just
I
like
know.
before it was like, oh, these shows are entertaining, and now I'm like the politics behind
You're getting
everything are
invested.
very interesting. I'm getting way more invested than I would have been. And I mean, it took long enough to get used to the animation style, but I'm used to it now.
Yeah.
And I don't really get hung up on it at all anymore. It's just these random episodes of nonsense. Um, that I don't enjoy. But there's always shows like that. So like every time I try to watch Battlestar, I have that same problem that it's too much of a political show that I get bogged down
Yeah.
in the nonsense. And it's not nonsense. Like we all learn something, but I still very much stand on the hill that that show Trespass was filler.
Yeah. And sometimes I'm like, is it because of have
Are watching them.
how we have decided to group things for us to watch them? Or is it just like, would it have been different had we been watching these once a week versus us doing these in compilations?
I keep thinking about seeing these once a week, and it's just the fact that this like comes out of nowhere. It's about people we don't know, a moon that we don't care about, a system that we don't really know anything about. And I keep thinking like what was the thought process behind putting this episode in here?
Yeah.
Right? Like because the two before were about Anakin and Ahsoka, and the two after were about Anakin and Ahsoka and Padme. So why this one? Why here? And obviously, like there was another one, episode 16 came after it, so there was a little bit of a break. But I was just like, I feel like if I was watching this week to week, I would get frustrated.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know that I would have enjoyed watching this week to week.
I guess it depends. It also depends on like how old we are when they were running.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
2009, I was what, a junior in college.
yeah.
So even if I was
I
in the
don't,
Star Wars
I,
head,
based on where I was living and that we had just gotten through like an election, I was like, oh, I probably wouldn't have been like too keen on doing the politics thing because I would
that's
have
why
been
I'm
like,
like, this is like so. I think the main thing those extra episodes give us is context into the inner workings of the Senate and
yeah,
how that applies to outer rim planets, right? Like I'm not ignoring it for the sake of ignoring it. Like I got
no,
the purpose of that was what to just have us understand how the Jedi work with other senators and things like that. But it's again, it's just like you're just giving me a very small piece of the big puzzle, and I don't know that it needed to come like that. But again, as we go through, like get into seasons three, two, three, and four, I wonder if that's what gets dropped, right? Like
yes.
these kind of like one-off offshoot episodes that make no sense. Um,
So we are almost done-ish with season one. So the next four episodes that we will be watching are 19, 20, and 21, Storm over Rylith, Innocence of Rylith, Liberty of Rylith.
yeah,
So the interesting thing is there's actually 22 episodes in season one. We will
but that
not
one doesn't
watch
come later.
that for quite some time, and it
Yeah,
falls in the middle of like
season three.
season two gets really jumbled, and then we start season three, and then we jump back to season one, the final episode, which is very
It's the
curious.
chronological thing, right? Like this
It
is,
is, but I was like so confused because I was like trying to find it. I'm like, did we forget to put this on our schedule?
I
And
don't
it took
know.
me using the find function because in between all that, we are watching The Mandalorian. I was like, where is
Yeah.
this episode?
No, I saw that too, but I was just like, in Reddit, I trust because this
Yeah.
list comes from a Reddit user who keeps an up to date chronological
Yeah.
order spreadsheet that I check from time to time every time they add new.
Yeah. We had
And
to add in the Young Jedi.
Yeah, we obviously had to add in Young Jedi, but that's kind of
Because not
easy.
everyone
But
accepts it as canon. How dare
oh,
they?
really? It's such good canon.
Oh,
But yes, so the person who created this spreadsheet, every time they announce new shows, will add it into the timeline.
yeah.
So I honestly trust this person more than I would trust myself. So,
I would too, but I'm like, maybe there was I had to
well,
check because
it's
I'm
just like
like,
the way that the episodes go are so jumbled in season two.
yeah, season two is going to be a wild ride, and we're going to have all the documentation written out because this is going to be
Yeah.
jumping
Season
a
two,
lot.
season three. Season three gets a little bit more normal with a couple of stuff in the beginning. And
Once we
I,
get to the end of season three, like midway through season three, it everything starts following, getting like in
yeah,
line.
yes, mostly. That's
Mostly,
why
there's a
I'm just
few
like,
jumps.
I'm glad we're watching this in chronological order because I think this was the issue when I tried to watch it last time because like nothing was in order and it just felt so. I feel like this was a show not to get people into Star Wars, but for people who were already into Star Wars.
I think it
Like,
was for people in Star Wars and for that new generation that found the prequels.
yes, but
Because of their
even
age range,
then,
this was a good timing for them to have something.
and it came out in that time frame that the prequels had come out. I still don't I feel like it's the people who got into Star Wars and the prequels and then watched everything and then got really into it
Yeah.
because this show is not for a casual watcher of Star Wars. I don't think it is.
No.
It's very much for that like die-hard watcher. And
I
so
think though that kids that don't pick up on the underlying political stuff, they just see lightsaber battles, like kids loved watching this on Cartoon Network every week.
I could see that. I could see that. And I
That's
just
like the
think
only
that
time where that's the only moment I would disagree. I'm like,
maybe kids.
7, 8 year olds who aren't picking up on those deeper lessons, but they're like, there's hope. That's what we're learning this week. Lightsabers, lemur creatures. I
That's
think,
hilarious and true. I'll agree with you there.
I think that's
But
like
like
because
our
because
age group kind of people, if we weren't already like that far in,
yeah.
we weren't going to
I
watch.
was not like a Cartoon Network kid, but the Cartoon Network kids that I know, which also tended to be young boys,
Yeah.
this was right in their wheelhouse. Just they were just not looking at on the deeper level that of the politics and everything going on that we are now looking at
Yeah,
it
we
as,
see
and
because
that people
in
look at
our
it as.
adult lives, we
Yes.
see the same politics. It's not wild. It's
Yeah.
like the same strategies, the same politics are here.
Yeah. And I don't usually go for a political show. Like the
I
big thing is
know.
like so in Star Trek, Deep Space Nine is the big political one, and it's the one I like the least, even though it's a great series. But because
Yeah.
it's the political one, it's the one I tend to avoid because I'm like, I want my shows to give me some escapism. I don't want to live in this.
No, I that's how I felt every time I tried to watch Battlestar Galactica. So like I watched Stargate. So around the time that the show was airing, I was neck deep in Stargate. I loved Stargate so much. Um the political side of it too, and that's why I laugh because I'm just like, "Oh hey, like this is that same concept but just in a completely different application." Um But yeah, I did Cartoon Network as a child, but not in my adulthood. And I think that's where
Yeah.
I was, very into Stargate and Gilmore Girls at this time.
I didn't watch a lot of TV at this time period. I realized that I was in AmeriCorps during this time, so I didn't have access to
Ah,
normal television.
I love this fun fact about you. I forget it all the time. But we talked about, I'm very excited for the next three episodes, the Ryloth
And
set.
essentially right now, this for us, this is the end of season one for
Oh
a
yes,
while.
that's right. We're gonna take a little break. Um, get into season two, and then get into the Mandalorian. So I guess what we're trying to say is we're until next time. We're not the droids you're looking for.
but we're the droids you're gonna get.